Here's an idea. Unboxing videos make objects more sensual. Not that kind of sensual, though. Okay, so the new thing is coming out. You know, the new video game thing, or Apple thing, or phone thing. And days or weeks before, or maybe even on the eve of the release, a lucky few in possession of said coveted thing record and upload an unboxing video. You know, someone, an object, the object's in the box, the someone takes the object out of the box on video, viola. Unboxing video. Unboxing vids are kind of like the ballpark Frank of internet videos. They exist most naturally in a very specific context, outside of which they're not widely known or well regarded, but inside of which they are a staple. Unboxing vids are popular, but they never go viral. They are expected, but they're not really needed.
This is for my birthday.
Like death, taxes, and I guess at this particular moment in history, Justin Bieber getting arrested, you can count on them. Also, Justin, what are you doing? The unboxing vid provides a very strange service, because it's not normally during the unboxing vid that we're getting our first look at whatever the thing is. Be it an iPad, Xbone, PS, or phone, we've normally seen the thing 1,000 times on billboards and commercials and banners, and here's the thing, look at the thing, it is everywhere. And while the marketing video does show us what these things look like, weirdly, it's the unboxing video that shows us what they are. The unbox shows us a real person with a real object. And though yes, it is another piece of media like the marketing materials are, it depicts the thing ostensibly not photoshopped, not massaged, unfooled around with in all of its glorious vestments.
Ports. Can't wait to fill this up with all sorts of crazy gadgets.
The unboxing video is the process of presenting the object of desire in a state of undress. To describe the unboxing video as partially erotic wouldn't be entirely inaccurate, I don't think. While there are some companies who, in their advertising, make the connection between eroticized human body and their product more explicit than others, our current, particularly commercialized epoch tends to turn many or most products into objects of desire. And in the undressing of the object, what is being removed is just as much its garb as it is its hype or lofty productized image. And sometimes, if the object itself is not eroticized, then the act of acquiring it is. And on a related but unrelated note, I also think of this as accounting for the existence of certain kinds of ASMR videos too, but that's another conversation for later. It could also be about the realness of those objects, beyond on a small scale communicating our distrust of advertising and marketing images. The unbox does show us the real object, and not just in the moment it is revealed, but in all of the pageantry that is required to do so. You know, like digging through all the plastic bits and bags and stuff. Or maybe not real, but sensual. Philosopher Graham Harman talks about a distinction between real and sensual objects and qualities. Realness, he says, cannot be experienced, and sensuality can only be experienced. Most things which must or do exist in the world as a singular object, this horse, my pickup truck, our calzone, seemingly all-around nice guy, Dave Coulier, are real objects with sensual qualities. Meaning, if I were to just disappear, my truck would still be a truck. To others, it would still be a specific truck. Realness here doesn't mean what it normally does. Realness here is a kind of reference. You can think about real objects, but you can never have any experience of them. Like, truckness helps you understand what a truck is, but doesn't reference one specific truck. There are, in addition, the reverse, sensual objects with real qualities, e.g. minotaurs, flying cars, perfectly toroidal pizza, North Korean dictator Dave Coulier, and snow which falls up. These things can be experienced, but only by virtue of qualities which are assembled intellectually. They depend upon our presence. If we disappear, minotaurs disappear. My truck, however, would remain. So then maybe it's that the unboxing video defeats some of the realness of the marketing materials, which are full of ephemerality and nonsensical ad speak, and makes the consumer object more sensual, more open to our experiences, or at the very least imparts more sensual qualities where it previously was mainly an idea. And though it is another image or set of images, the context is completely different from the billboard or the product launch at CES or whatever. The unboxing is usually a citizen consumer, an informal setting, and a singular object, not, like in most advertising, an ideal of the object. Of course, there is a necessary precondition to this whole arrangement, and that's an infatuation with the thing to begin with.
I love you, everything burrito.
The unboxing video, except for its bizarre pageantry, might not be a draw for someone who is otherwise uninterested in next-gen gaming consoles, phones, or whatever this is.
I have no idea what this is.
To be concerned with the appearance and packaging of a product, one must think of appearance and packaging as things worthy of concern.
It even comes with an extra long twisty tie.
And even a lot of us who are invested in product lines, technology, and product design have no problem waiting for the thing itself to be properly released before digging through all the stuff with our own hands. Perhaps it's that the unboxing video is a kind of leak, a production still or trailer for the object fandom. It shows some, but doesn't ruin the personal and complete experience of the real thing. It's a hint, a teaser. It sexes up the thing in a novel way without spoiling its entirety. Unless you buy things just to unbox them. And here we are back at ASMR again.
Ooh, I like that sound.
What do you guys think? Why do people make and watch unboxing videos? Let us know in the comments, and the best and worst thing about subscribing to Idea Channel is that it comes with no packaging. To thine own selfie be true. Let's see what you guys had to say about selfies as speech acts. Jenny Loves points out some feminist arguments for the attitude that people have towards selfies, and talks about how maybe this is troubling to some people because women, in turning the camera on themselves, are sort of taking agency over their objectification, which is, I think, really interesting. Some people also sent me some links to some things that were written on Jezebel, NexoJ, and a couple other places. We'll put some links in the description. I think this is a really interesting read on selfies. Imam Bazandian says that the selfie is an annoying thing because it causes you to compare your life to that of the selfie taker. And I wonder, people who have this attitude, which is one that I saw a couple times, if they feel this way about all forms of art, painting and music and photography, because I would say that that is true in almost all creative endeavors. I don't know, what do you guys think about this attitude? Yay It's Scarlet kind of gets to the heart of the matter and says that people don't like selfies because it is an example of how self-obsessed we have all become, to which I would say, I'm pretty sure we've always been self-obsessed, and this goes back, I think, to my argument that you can really dislike the people who take selfies for all different kinds of reasons, but the selfie itself, totally innocent. Standing by it. Selfie, innocent. Matt Cromwell and Get Down Liberty wrote really insightful comments about the selfie being a thing for the picture taker, and that the audience then having to reorient themselves in a confusing way towards that. So we'll just put links to these comments in the description. They're super good. Alyssani, for the record, that is exactly what I meant. I did mean that. Nachi describes what I would deem the most common criticism leveled against selfies and selfie takers, and then clues us into a piece of Brazilian slang for describing what a person is when they are criticizing someone for seemingly no reason. I might start using this, if it's not also secretly a very dirty word. To Harry D, I want to just make this incredibly clear. Not a fan of Sherry Turkle, was being very sarcastic. Maybe we'll put up big sarcasm lights the next time, because I should be very clear about that. Not a fan. When I said favorite person, I meant the opposite of that. Kat McEachern talks about selfies as a kind of method of self-care, which is really, really interesting, and then also says that some of the hate could come from the fact that selfies are thought of by many people as being a domain of young girls, and that there is not a great general cultural attitude towards young women. So, yeah, interesting. Aaron Marinziner writes a comment which, after reading, you can never again complain about the utility of selfies. You're done. Your argument is now invalid. Jessel makes a really great comment about the utility of certain bits of social media, and makes me think of this attitude that I see a lot of, which is people feeling like they are owed something by the folks that they follow on social media, and that the selfie is one very particular and egregious transgression of some kind of contract that they've signed into. So yeah, it's a very complex attitude about what kinds of media you willingly subject yourself to, and who has the responsibility. Your bi-monthly reminder that there is no such thing as overthinking, and anything made by a person is important and interesting is brought to you by someone called the Day Gamers. Thank you, the Day Gamers. I disagree. This week's episode was brought to you by the hard work of these sensual objects. If you haven't seen it already, I guest starred on Mashable's 5 Facts with Matt and Annie. It's an episode about the iPhone. It was super fun. We'll put a link to that in the description, and you should definitely watch it. We have a Facebook, an IRC, and a subreddit, and the tweet of the week comes from Nick McLaughlin, who points us towards a linguistic analysis of Doge. Yes, that's right, Doge. And for our record change this week, we replace John Vanderslice with Tomita playing Holst's the Planets. Goodbye, John Vanderslice. Welcome, Tomita.